Yeah, we're going to talk about being self-sufficient or being a prepper or survivalist, whatever you want to call it. Old-time home food processing. The Survivor Volume 1, Volume 2 by Kirk Saxon. But I guess you could say after the Cuban Missile Crisis in '62, people started looking at life a little bit differently. People started going back to the land, started moving back to the land. Mother Earth News was the place to go to for information, how to. People were moving back to the land, learn to be self-sufficient, not under somebody's thumb all the time. Also during that time, see, that was '76. A fellow named Mel Tappan. He came up with this thing he called survival guns. Well, they started putting the information in Guns and Ammo magazine that come out every month. And in December of '76, the first issue came out. Then they had to, you could buy this book if you wanted. But I'll read you something. Almost 90% of the American people live in cities. Their food and clothing come from the labor of others. Various forms of energy are processed and delivered to their homes by others. The shelter they live in was probably built by others. It is protected from fire and others from intrusion more or less successfully by others. Because of this common interdependence that completely pervades urban life, we tend to lose sight of how vulnerable we really are. How unable we are through our own direct efforts to provide for the core necessities which we require to support our lives. So really, without being aware of it, most of us have subcontracted almost all of our life support activities to other people, in corporations, government bodies, and machines. Not only does this circumstance contribute to the sense of frustration which is symbolic of modern man, it is life-threatening should there be an interruption of these vital services. What would you do, for example, a week from next Wednesday? There was no gasoline at the pumps, no food in the supermarket, no electric power or city water. The banks were all closed and a surly mob had formed in the center town, looting and burning out of frustration and fear. Could you and your family even survive for a couple of weeks where you are now without additional food or water and perhaps without little or no police or fire protection? So, we talk about being able to be self-sufficient. How many really are? How many skills have you learned in the last few years, or even the last 6 months? It's skills that will get you by. I was watching a thing on Walking Dead. A lot of people don't watch it, but they had this guy named Abraham, and he's protecting this guy that's supposed to be some kind of scientist. He's going to go to DC and save the world, so on and so forth. Even though the guy was lying through his teeth. But Abraham's skills were only what he had learned in the military. He had no other skills outside of that. But this Eugene guy was taking him to a building that housed a great big metal pot for melting down steel and lead and all that stuff. And they had other machines there. But Eugene had the basic knowledge on how to make ammo. So you've got to kind of count on everybody if you don't have all the skill sets yourself. Learn as much as you can by yourself, but also remember that other people have skills. You might have to sort through them, but they have different skills that help keep you alive. Learn all the skills you can now is one of the most important aspects you can ever pick up. Thanks for watching.